We are changing independent media because we want to put more focus on the action, and so this video will be about how you can send your own article, your material, your art, your music, whatever it is, to get involved in creating true freedom. We'll distribute it across the world in many different platforms as much as we can and get you involved in essentially your own independent media. I'm recording this on the month April 27th, 2023, in case there's any updates in the future. This is part of the Liberator 2, a mass collaboration effort project that is designed to help teach freedom, ownership, health, responsibility, all these really important topics to the whole world. But what just are the requirements for sending in material to the Liberator 2? And so if you send us your article, you're essentially joining independent media, because this is truly independent. It's not funded or, it's not something for money. It's done for purely educational purposes. The word limit should be about 1,000 words. Okay, if you're going to write an article, you want to keep it generally pretty respectful and somewhat professional. You want to be authentic and open to all the public. You want to make sure it's universally applicable, and anything not universal or timeless may be connected. So let's say I'm talking about this event or that event, and I can tie it into something much grander, like a philosophy, a worldview. What do we learn from it? Right? We can optionally include your social links or donation page. So when you send in your article that is about 1,000 words, right, and it's talking about all these things, you can then post your social links or donation page. I'll make sure to include it at the end of the video. And then you could share your name with your post. And if you want, you can optionally remain anonymous. Meaning if you don't want your name out in the public, you don't want to be seen, that's okay. You can still send an article. You can still be doing this work without necessarily exposing your identity, if that's something you're worried about. Now, what are the topics that are required for sending in an article or sending in a material? Well, it has to be about morality, abolitionism, ownership, self-reliance, natural health, events going on, poetry, art, quotes, memes, or media related to all of the other things I mentioned, right? Morality, abolitionism, ownership. What is abolitionism? We have a whole page dedicated to that, so I recommend checking that out. When it comes to natural health, you want to make sure that it's not too restrictive or invasive advice. People might say, do this or do that, or this is what worked for me. Well, it's important that we recognize that we have to share studies or information to really educate people so they can make a decision for themselves. Okay, so this is an educative project. Anything that is educative among these lines is definitely going to work, okay? Now, most requests, most article submissions are going to be accepted, but not all requests are going to be accepted. And the reasons are going to be given in a reply to your request. So when you email me your article, you send it as a doc format or a PDF format, whatever it is, that is going to then be reviewed, and it's going to be reviewed by me or William Douglas, who's my co-editor, co-founder, whatever you want to consider. And basically, we're going to give you our reasons why maybe there needs to be some editing, or what we plan to do with it, or why it's not going to be part of different platforms. Maybe it goes against certain guidelines, whatever it is, right? We're going to talk about it. If you have questions, you can always converse with us as well. But all posts are unmodified to maintain integrity. Okay, so meaning I'm not going to go into your article changing a bunch of things, but that being said, only grammar may be adjusted for accessibility. So if I see there needs to be a comma somewhere, if I see there's things that need to be changed just to make it easier on the reader, I'm going to do that. If I see there needs to be some paragraph breaks, some, italicized language, some quotes, I'm going to do that, right? And I recommend that when you write an article, you start it off really eye-catchy and click-worthy. We encourage that you add links or sources to your post. Now, the benefits to posting an article is that you're supporting the paper and essentially this whole project, and people who want to support the project, they can support you. Because I'm not opening it up to the public saying, man, I want you guys to donate to me, the editor, the Liberator 2. I want people to donate directly to you, the person who's actively sending the article, the person who's actively doing the work. And yes, I'm doing work by taking your article and doing more with it. But that being said, I might get some sales from the shirts and other things, and everybody's basically winning here. The whole point is impact. And so I don't look at it in terms of money, but if people want to support this project, I'm always going to refer them directly to support the authors, the writers, the people who are contributing to the project. So that's you. Okay, you're the contributor, you're the person who's sending in your article, who's sending in your material. The people is the focus. Each article contribution gets turned into a video format with narration and imagery. And I can give credit to you and share your social or donation links that you provide in your post. Okay, essentially this allows me to create videos for you while allowing the newspaper to distribute to more audiences. It's a win-win for everyone. Collaboration means greater impact, right? Can't say it enough. Very, very important. Now, there's benefits to posting an article aside from getting the support and getting a part of this independent media and all this. Basically, at 5 articles, you can get interviewed about your experience with statism in case you battled with this mindset yourself and your journey overall. Maybe you're like, man, I went through this journey. I finally woke up. I started seeing things. You can share that experience with us. We'll interview you at about 5 articles. And then at 10 articles, we will create your own personalized business card to represent the newspaper. This also adds a level of reputation and professionalism while sharing the word. So I think that's really good because then you could be like, hey, you know, this is the Liberator too. I'm part of this organization. You know, we're doing stuff. We're actually trying to change the world. 15 articles, well, your word limit is increased to about 1,500, okay? Now, it's about its estimates because I know some people are going to go over. I go over, William Douglas, we go over all the time. The point is that we want to keep it generally pretty minimized. We don't want to go too far. About 1,000 words or so is about like 10 minutes anyways for a video. So we don't want to go too much into that. So about 1,500, that will be your limit at about 15 articles because, well, you're a contributor. You're always sharing articles with us. There's your benefit. Now at 20 articles, we can send you a free sticker with your name and a message stating to read your articles. So, you know, not just a business card, but a sticker. Maybe you can put it in the back of your car or something, you know. This is just more ways to represent the Liberator too. And with contribution comes reputation to get involved in any and all other projects that get created. Anyone is welcome to contact the editors for any interviews with them. So that's me and William Douglas. If you say, hey, Cory, I want to interview you, or you're like, man, I want to interview William Douglas. You got some great articles. Feel free to reach out. Our emails are at the bottom of this page. Again, liberator.us/send. Okay, now extra notes. For video creators, you can send us your video scripts and its video. Okay, optionally, you may add additional text to your script and we will make a video including your video within. Optionally, you may make or send short videos to include within the video that we produce. Optionally, you may make your own video for your own script. But in that case, professionalism is expected and you must also mention the Liberator 2 news. Optionally again, you may transcribe your videos and send us the text to be used for an article. Be sure to make these intents clear with your email posts because there's so many things you can do as a video creator. You're already producing content. Just figure out how you want to do this, how you want to contribute to this project. You can find out what works for you. Now, for opinionated posts, for the people who like to say I or me, it's generally recommended not to be speaking personally using I or me, as these articles will not be formed into videos because, well, I can't speak for you. The editors can't speak for you. So it is recommended you work on articles sharing reasons and evidence for your personal experiences or observations to make it less personal. And optionally, if you do want to make it more personal, you may have written a personal article which can be linked alongside a different article of yours. So I'll make sure to include it as a link. I'll make sure to mention it at the end of the video of the article you send to us. And then I'll be like, hey, if you want to learn about this person's personal experience, be sure to check this out. Right now, about research material, sources are not necessary when you write an article, okay? Although generally encouraged in articles, particularly concerning sciences or studies. So if you're like, I'm mentioning this study, or I'm mentioning certain things about health, you may want to provide studies or citations for that. And if you do so, we encourage it, but we also want the human spirit and conscience to express passion and care for the cause of freedom through morality and reasoning. You know, we don't think that you necessarily need a citation or study to prove that people should just leave other people alone and just live and let live, right? So Now, let's say we're talking about other websites and other projects. Maybe you write for several different news companies or organizations or whatever. If you write for other websites or groups and want to share your material with us, please do. Now, for advertisements, you can advertise your products or services alongside your article, but the article itself can't be the advertisement. Now, will everything sent to us become a video? Well, if the video article content goes against the guidelines of one platform, it will still be published on other platforms. So let's say you publish something really controversial, and there's certain topics that are pretty controversial. In case you don't know, you can email me, I'll let you know. Certain things you can't really talk about on certain platforms like YouTube, for instance. Just let us know if you're curious, or if you're going to just send an article anyways. I'll make sure to be a little careful with that because we want to reach every audience, so we're going to use every medium possible. Certain forms of media like poetry and memes will not become videos. However, they will be included within videos and the newspaper editions. And if many memes or long style poetry is sent, then those can be turned into videos. But just realize that not everything is going to be turned into a video necessarily. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. We're going to try to get everything out there, but there's going to be some restrictions depending on platform guidelines if we need to. And so we encourage that anyone repost the videos that we make for your own channel, as this creates more impact. And if you would like an editor to help contribute to your own article, please write at the end or the beginning of your article with open, followed by the letter C for Cory and W for Will, or CW for either and both. Because then, if you send an article and you write open CW, I'll know, be like, okay, hey, William, this guy wants us to work on this article together, just maybe make some edits or add to it, maybe add some sources, and we'll do that. We'll make sure to help out with your article, okay? Now, just as a general distribution policy, you own what you write. You can share your own material anywhere you want, but we don't protect your material against others if they choose to use your material. This is because we are open to educating the whole public for the goal of freedom for everyone, not clout or fame for ourselves. We recommend everyone gives credit to the proper writers. We recommend everyone shares any of our material. Okay, so these are the guidelines. And if you want to send an article, you can send it to my email, corye@disroot.org. And if you want to contact William Douglas, whether it's for an interview or send him your article, although he doesn't usually do the article side, so if you want to send an article, you got to send it to me. But if you want to contact him, get some advice or talk with him in general, will@theliberator.us. That's will@theliberator.us. Again, my email is corye@disroot.org. Now, you can also use a contact form that we have on the website. So theliberator.us/contact, you'll see there's a whole form where you can actually write your whole article there on the website if you want to, but you can also just contact us and you'll see this nice little area where you can write your message however long it is. And so you can do that as well instead of emailing if that's something that you prefer to do. Like I said, I do generally recommend doc format or PDF format. Doc always usually works best if you can. A good Office program I would recommend is Only Office. And a good email service I would recommend is disroot.org, okay? So be sure to send your article, get involved with this project, because it's very important that everybody does their part in creating freedom and does the most they can, because you might be already producing content, you might already be doing stuff, but we can always do more. And the more we collab, the more impact we make. Thank you very much for watching.